about that lower belly fat, and it happens, guys. I mean, I even am struggling, and I am committed, even though I know that I can't spot reduce, to doing more abdominal exercises that are in target that area, and it's easier to do with the BOSU. A lot of great exercises I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you 3 different positions, but we're going to work with some ab exercises, uh, variations within that position. So let's take a seat on the dome if you have one. Let's see, I've got on shorts underneath this skirt, but just be prepared, or with the skirt, but just be prepared that you're going to kind of slide down a little bit. I'm going to try to prevent that some, but that's just the way the BOSU works. Sit halfway between the top and the bottom, and then we are actually going to go ahead and lean back and uh, go ahead and start with your hands on the dome. We'll get to this in a second, but hands on the dome. And then the first one could just simply be kind of like a single tuck. Okay, so single leg tuck, and then make sure that you breathe. And then, of course, we can take it up a notch and go here. Okay, so kind of like you see people doing this maybe on the floor. This is a great one to do on the dome. You can also sit higher, but we're going to move into the next one in this same position. And then, again, you can start with both feet down and then do this one. So where we're lifting. So we're pulling that knee in at the same time as I'm curling forward. You could even push a little bit with your hands if you needed to. And breathe, keeping the head in alignment and the back straight. Okay, and then there was back to this one. Okay, so good ones here targeting the lower part of the abdominals. And then from here, you could go to this one. Okay, I'm going to show you a better way to do this in a second, but that's just another option. Okay, all right, so the next position is going to be going from the same position, but we're going to be going on our back. So what I want you to try to do is think about balancing. Now, you might have to slide down just a little bit, but think about balancing right here, and then we're going to try to pick those knees up, okay? So you can see how I am trying to stay flat on the dome, and then we're going to go into a crunch. See that? Chin is tucked. Breathe. So I'm really feeling it right across here. It's not up too high, right? But it's right here, which is really feels good. Okay? Because again, we can't spot reduce, but we can, just like we do a bicep curl or a chest press, we can work those muscles, and we need to. So here we go. And then harder would be even this, even just crunching and curling forward a little bit, you're definitely going to feel this. Keep the chin tucked and breathe. You don't have to lift up very high, and then you can also, if that position isn't comfortable, you can sit a little bit lower and then lean back and then go into it. And it might be a little easier for you because you don't have as much of your upper body to pull over, okay, into the crunch. So again, targeting the lower belly, and I'll continue in just a second. Please leave a comment if you're here. Let me know how you guys are doing. I'm live over on HAPS, which is a multi-streaming platform, so let's get connected on Twitter, Facebook page, Bent Over Fitness, as well as, of course, HAPS and YouTube. So I'm going back to the same position, okay, and so here I am. Now, I'm going to show you another exercise after this one. And there's a lot of things, you could do here. You could even move into a bicycle, but let's just stick with the simple. I don't want to get too complicated right now. I'm using some of my upper body I'm wobbling and shaking. That's really kicking in those ab muscles. Last one. And rest. Now, this next one can be better for your back, using a Bosu Do rather than doing it on the floor, because we're going to come back and you're actually going to put your forearms onto the floor. Forearms onto the floor. And ultimately, we could go all the way back because my head and neck are going to get tired in this position. You do want to try to keep the chin tucked, but you don't want to come back here. So we're going to go ahead and lift up the legs, and then we can do like a single leg drop. And so when I'm doing the single leg drop with the heel touching to the floor, that is pulling some on the lower portion of the abs. Okay, so the abs work as a unit, but there are some exercises we can do that are help you to feel like you're really getting a better workout in that portion of the abs. So you can drop both legs, and then we can also, it's getting harder to keep my chin tucked. I've been doing a couple of sets of these already, so I'm just going through this is probably the fourth time I've done these before I came on the camera, so my neck is feeling it. So what I want you to do is go down. So try to go down, and then we have the legs up. Okay, so now I'm completely just resting, thank goodness, on my head. But just even staying in this position can challenge you, especially just starting out with keeping the core engaged and working those ab muscles. So we're just going to do the same leg drop or heel drop, and you can bend the knee, shorter lever or longer lever. And so especially when I drop the straight leg, I can feel it pull through here, but you do want to watch and be mindful of the low back. Okay, so try to keep the core engaged and breathe. And then the double leg, be careful if you do decide to do this one. You don't want to go too low. It's not really recommended, but with the Bosu, it is more support for your back than if you were doing this on the floor. If you're doing this on the floor, that's really a contraindication for exercise, and that's not something I have my clients do. But if they have something supporting their back, like the Bosu Do or even the bender ball, then I feel good about having my clients try to do this one. Okay, so right here. Really feel that pull right here, which is what I need to feel tight. Okay, but remember, getting rid of belly fat is 80%, even up to 80%, what you are eating, guys, or what you are not eating. Okay, so let's come out of that. Come up carefully. Okay, now the last position I'm going to show you is a plank style position. And so we're going to do it two ways. First, and if you've seen me before on the Bosu Do or doing abs, planking is awesome. I think people don't do enough plank. Sometimes we're still too focused on all the forward flexion. But if you think about stabilizing and being strong, hey, what's going on, Fred? Hey, I didn't see you pop in, and somebody else who is on. Matthew, how are you? So we're working on abs, and this one is really easy to do on the floor too. So if you don't have the dome, but again, the dome gives you more instability, so these muscles are working harder. And then I'm just going to go with the single knee drive here, because anytime I pick one foot up off the floor, it's engaged in the core even more. And then after this one, I'm going to show you one more that will really target the lower portion of the abs again. Okay, this one's not bad, but all right. So you've seen that. You know about the ab. You can come down to modify and either hold or try to do a knee drive here. But I would almost go ahead and do the spider if you're on your knees. Okay, the spider. And the spider here would be like this. Okay? And that one helps to target some in the obliques. But the next one and final one, guys, is actually flipping the Bosu dome over. Now, let me know if you guys have ever tried any exercises with it flipped over. I used to do standing on it and have some clients stand on it, but then I realized that it's actually harder to just do everything on the right side, the dome side. And Bosu decided a while back they didn't want to recommend any standing exercises here. So anyway, I don't do that as much, but it's good to use the dome for some planks and put your hands or push-ups and that type of thing where you can use the base. So I'm going to start out and I'm going to show you the modification with the knees, but this works good. So you can see when I push out, that's going to make the abs have to engage even more. So I can come up to both toes, push, pull back with the elbows, push with the hands, pull with the elbows, push, pull. 3. I can come down to one knee. As long as you're keeping the back straight and the head in alignment. Oops, my heels are touching the couch. That's okay, so I think I can go here. So you can see what I'm doing with pushing forward and then back. Okay? All right, and then go back through and do another round of those, and you're gonna feel it right in here. Again, sometimes with crunches, I know sometimes people just feel it like really high, and it's good to feel that you're kind of working in here where we really, really, really want to feel it, right? I think it goes for everybody. So just remember though, we can't spot reduce by doing a bunch of crunches or doing a bunch of planks. You will build more muscle tone. You will strengthen the muscles that will help you to ultimately be able to burn more body fat. But most importantly too, having a strong core that will help you to prevent back irritations and back problems, which are a huge percentage of people have, and a lot of people have disabilities from it or that kind of thing from back issues. So use a strong core and strong abs, not just so you have that six-pack, but so that you will be strong for daily life, right? All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I just wanted to make this pretty quick and do that ab routine and hold myself accountable as well. So you guys have a great day. Please reach out. Let's get